be setting up your podcast on WordPress. You want to come over here, hit add new, type this in just like this. Grab this right here, install it and activate it. Once you do that, you're going to have this show up here. You click on this on settings. Okay? Once we do that, this is what you want to do. Make sure you're in advanced mode at the top. From switching from there to advanced mode, it'll probably be over here, and then that'll switch over here. So click on that. Then we're going to want to click customize podcast channel, save change. Then we're going to go to episode. You really don't need to fool with any of this. If you want to, that's up to you, but save changes at the bottom. You can either let FeedBurner track everything that will ever be downloaded for you, or you can get free basic statistics from them, or free statistics from here. I'll say that if you want more accurate measure of every download, you just do it through FeedBurner. That's up to you how you do that. I'll tell you how to set it all up with the feeds afterwards. Now, do you want your player at the bottom or the top of the content? I'll leave it above my show notes. Then if you don't want to change that, save changes. But you can go through here, and you really don't need to put any of this in. If you want somebody to subscribe, you will put your link for subscribe here, but we're not going to do that now because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your options for your links for your podcast, so we'll come back to this, okay? These are your feeds. Enhance all feeds recommended. Okay. Include RSS. Feed description. You can put your blog description there for your feed or whatever. Feed language obviously is going to be English if you're in America. So you click that. Copyright. You can put your website name, location if you want to put where you're at, how often you're going to do that. And you just go through the thing, save changes. iTunes. Now, with iTunes, you just put your subtitle of your program, 250 word description at the very least. Whatever your niche is, find it, whether it's clean or not clean. If you want to put your name, you can put your name there. Now, whatever email you're going to use for your iTunes, if you have an account, use the email that's on the account that you're going to be using, because you're going to have to submit your podcast feed to them. Now, I want to talk to you about your options for feed in the end, so that's when we get to towards the end. I'll talk to you about that. You don't need to set your iTunes new feed URL, okay? Because when you hit the podcast channel, it automatically is going to put something there for you. So if you did any changes there, save those. Google Play, you're going to want to go ahead, if you're going to have an account with them, get your email here that you set up that account with. Put your name there if you want to do that, a description, whether it's clean, and select the category. Save those changes. Then for your artwork, you're going to create a podcast artwork, put it here, the link URL, and then you're going to, obviously you'll just click that right there. It'll bring you to something where you can actually upload it. So you can do that, upload it, or that'll preview it. Let's see. Upload it there, and then preview it after you upload it. So that's how you're going to do that. It should automatically do the same for this, but if not, you can upload it there too. It's all up to you. Upload it there too for your RSS too, because that's your second feed for this website, which is your podcast feed. So that'll show your images on all three of those. Now, here's where we're getting to the actual podcast feeds. So this is where I'm going to discuss your options for your feed, okay? This is your feed when you create your channel. By default, WordPress gives you, oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, startup raw / feed. That's my feed for WordPress automatically. When I create the channel, it adds podcast behind there. And that's what it's going to do for yours, your website, your WordPress feed by default, and then your podcast. Now, here's your two options. If you're just going to house your own podcast and you don't want stats to follow how many downloads you have, and you don't want to use FeedBurner, well, then here's your first option without FeedBurner, okay? Without FeedBurner, if you're going to host your own podcast on your own website, meaning you're going to upload your media to your media on your WordPress dashboard, then you would only use this podcast feed. And you would take this podcast feed and just put it in all of these, okay? But if you want somebody else to house your podcast files, like a podcast hosting website, I recommend Libsyn. It's LIBSYN.com. Okay? You would take this feed and go not use this feed. You go take your files from your computer desktop after you make it for your MP3 players or your audio teachings. You go to Libsyn, upload them there, get a hosting account there. If you're going to be serious about this and you're going to have a lot of followers eventually downloading, you don't want your website to crash, use a podcast host. $10 to $20 a month. Upload your file there. They'll give you a link for that file. You'll take that file and you'll come to your actual article, put it in there, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So that's how you would do that, okay? If you want to be serious, let Libsyn host it. If you don't think you're going to have a lot of followers, you can just upload it here in your media and then just keep this podcast feed if you're not going to be using FeedBurner. And take this feed and put this feed all underneath here and then submit this feed to iTunes and to Google Play. But if you want to track everything and you don't want to pay this particular website to track your stuff, then what you want to do is you want to go to Google and sign up for a FeedBurner account. Take this feed, put it in FeedBurner for Google. Google's going to give you a FeedBurner podcast URL. You'll take that FeedBurner podcast URL, put it here, 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 and for every podcast, that feed that you're going to actually submit to a RSS feed for a podcast for, you'll use that FeedBurner feed so it can track everything statistically. So that FeedBurner feed would be your feed if you're going to use FeedBurner to track everything. But if not, this is going to be your feed. If you're going to host your own stuff, you put it here after you upload it here. If you want Libsyn to host your own stuff, you'll upload your files to Libsyn. They'll give you a link, and then you'll come to something like this. Add new. And then you'll put the title of your audio. Scroll down here. Put your Libsyn link if you're using Libsyn. Or if you're not using Libsyn, you uploaded it here. You would just grab your media file from here, get your link, and put your link here. Now, what do I mean, get your media file from here? Just go here. Go to media file. Unless you need to upload it, then you upload it from your desktop. You just grab this link right here, highlight it, right click it, copy it, okay? And then what you do is you come down here, slap that right there, okay? And then you will verify it. You see? And it will show you the time, it will show you the numbers there, and then that's that. You got that done. So that's how you would do that. Put your little show notes under here. put your category podcast there, tags here, put in your title there, your description, title for your keyword there, and put your H1 for your title here, which is the same there. That all should show a green. You could either send it out now or schedule it out. I usually schedule mine out for a week or so in advance. That's up to you, and then you send it out. But that's how you would do that. Those are your different options if you're going to set up a podcast. Now there's one more thing I want to show you, okay? 3000 by 3000 on your actual images should be square that you upload for your logo, in case I didn't mention that. Pick this one and configure this one and activate it, because it gives you more options than something simple like this. Okay, so that's what you want to use. Once you get all that good stuff done, you should be set to go. So the only thing you want to do is come back to this website. I told you we come back over here, and you want to make sure that you got this checked, this checked, this checked, and if you want them to subscribe by email, subscribe to Google Play, subscribe to Stitcher, TuneIn, however you want them to subscribe, you will check those. And remember, I told you leave that link, because depending on whatever feeds you submitted to Google or iTunes, I was telling you based on whether you're going to be using a feed burner link or whether you're going to be using your own regular podcast link. That's why I was telling you that you're just going to leave those links blank. Now iTunes is going to give you your own link, so you're going to want to make sure that once they accept your feed, they're going to give you a link where you have all of your podcasts. When you want somebody to subscribe, that's going to be the subscribe link you use for them. When you want somebody to subscribe here, that will be the subscribe link you use for your RSS feed. Here, like for instance, it's not letting it show up. But basically, let's see if you could get it here. You see, that's going to be your subscribe link. Whatever Google Play gives you, this is where you would put for Android for them to subscribe to your Android channel. You see, so that's how you would set that up for subscribing on the different channels. iTunes, you would do iTunes. Here, what they give you for your subscribe link channel, or on the last one we just showed you, because it won't let you here. So just go down here and do it. So basically, you're just going to want to make sure that you're getting the right links to the right areas on these right here. So why do you want to do that? Last thing I'm showing you in closing, in your widget, you're going to take subscribe to podcast, and you're going to put that in your sidebar over here, bam. And what that's going to do is whenever you save that and you come over here, on the right side where your widgets are, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different subscribe areas for people to subscribe to your iTunes,